and
we
Big
are.
podcast is now live on Twitch, our first ever live stream as a podcast. I am the co host, Biggs, with me with my other co host, Red. What's up, dude? How you feeling tonight, man? It's our first one.
Hey, man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling like giving us an opportunity to put our face with our name and give us an opportunity to see people and see what they think about us, like they can see us.
Right,
Um, I mean, what do you think? I mean, I think we're going to start tonight by explaining that, Big and Red, our podcast is going to be, all about, talking about who we are, through our life stages. And we're going to talk about, all different experiences, whether or not it's experiences from when we were growing up or whether it's experiences that other people's lives, So we're
right,
going to talk a lot of that. And we hope people listen and we hope people, want to hear our experiences in life. And we hope people have their own experiences to talk about. Biggs and I came from, the same world, obviously, but in two different places, so we grew up maybe eating different things, maybe learning different things, but in our life, in an early stage, we met, and we created a bond that is a really cool bond. So you'll get different opinions, different aspects of where his thoughts are compared to my thoughts, not only politically, but just, whom values. We're both good Christians. We have both a lot of faith in the Lord. And we don't want to offend anybody out there by saying that, but in sense, that's a big part of what makes us all, brothers and sisters. So, I want to give a shout out to, Jesus Christ and let everybody know that I pray for them and hope they pray for us. So
right.
Biggs, tell me a little bit about you. We've been friends for over 20 years. You're a married man, right? You got two beautiful children, one getting ready for a beauty pageant. Um, I know you put it out on the air that you have a wife that is struggling with a medical illness.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you get into that at maybe another podcast. Myself, I've been married for 20 years. I have a son, a beautiful wife, just like Biggs has. Um, and, like I said, man, we want people to, be entertained by us talking about our life, and we want people to be entertained by talking about their life. If we talk about something that you're like, man, I have a whole different aspect, or I have a whole different feeling, or I have a whole different thought process on where you're coming from, let us know it. Thou shall not judge.
Right.
Along with being a Christian, we don't judge. So let us hear everybody's thoughts out there. Um, I mean, let's start with some basics, Biggs. Tell me how old you are, bro.
Well, I am currently 39 years old and I will be turning 40 in July.
Yeah, nice,
So
nice.
it is a huge milestone, and I honestly don't know how to feel about it really. Like it's like wow, like once, when you're younger, you're in your teens, you look forward to that, milestone of okay, you're 13, you want to be 16. Once you hit 16, you want to be 18.
Sure.
Once you're 18, you want to be 21.
Yeah.
What do you got to look forward to after that?
Yeah.
I
I
guess
mean, so
retirement, I guess. But
yeah.
like, I mean, it
I mean,
is a big
that's a good
milestone,
point. It's a big milestone. I think you put it out there right. I mean, throughout your life, you're reaching for a certain goal, a certain age. What is that age going to produce? And at 40 is kind of scary because it's like kind of going backwards in sense. But I'm also 39. I'm looking forward to 40. I feel like as you get older, you get a little bit more, professional of your craft.
Right?
So, not saying that young men and women are stupid or anything like that, but I think like that, whatever they have now in life, whether they're artsy or whether they're good at sports, when they're 40, they're going to be better at sports and they're going to be better artsy. And it might just be a different way, maybe, being able to talk about sports versus being able to play sports, as good as I could when I was 20. I'll tell you, when I'm 40, man, I still feel young. I still feel at heart. I still feel like, I still got God's got a lot left in me, whether or not that's a day. or whether or not that's another 10 years, 20 years, but I feel like at sense, I have a lot more to do to help others, and God has a plan for me. But
Hmm.
I'm turning 42, and I think I got that same outlook. You look forward to becoming 16 or 18. I
Hmm.
really didn't look forward to it, because if I wanted something that an 18-year-old got, I got it. If I want something 21-year-old got, I got it.
Right.
But in sense, again, we came from two different worlds. But I agree with you. Most general people, along with my wife, when she hit the age of 18, she could buy cigarettes instead of stealing them from her, from
Right.
her aunt.
Yeah, and not have to worry
Um,
about like asking like people to buy them for you or something. Like
yeah,
you have that,
right.
freedom, I guess if you will, to go out and do something and the ability, at that point to actually do something like that. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, because I know that's how I was when I was 16. I was always asking for people to like, oh, you know,
Can you do this or
can you
can you
buy
do
me a
that?
pack of cigarettes? Most of the
Right,
time,
right.
yeah, they went and did it. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, um, now if I ever had I think I had one time I think it happened to me. A young kid freaking asked me to buy it. Like he asked me to buy him cigarettes. I'm like, all right, $5, $5 extra on top of what it costs.
Yeah.
I
I
made
mean,
money off this fast.
people do that. People do it. People do it. I
Yeah,
mean, listen. Listen. We just told people we're 39 years old. We told people a little bit about that what it feels like to be 39. It's going to feel different to different people. 30. A 40. Let me finish that real quick. So 40. Most say that the things that you did, as a young man or a young woman, you've done everything. So you're at 40, you're like kind of, it's going from there downhill. You're not running as fast. You're not, doing this as fast. Everything's kind of slower. So it's a little bit different, but I think it's more of an enjoyable life. You know what I mean? Like now it's not, you don't got to worry about a rumor mill at 40 years old. You don't got to worry about drama in a hallway.
right.
You don't got to worry about what someone's saying on some kind of platform or social media. I mean, for once in life, it's like, you know what? I can just focus on me, and the rest is the rest. There's a reason why your past is in your past and in your future you're living, right?
Right, exactly. I mean,
Right. Like you're not worried about any you're not still chumped up about any kid that you met in high school that you want to beat his ass, or you worried that he did you wrong, right? At 40, you're not worried about that.
no, not at all.
Fuck, fuck that. You're worried about where you're going to get your next meal,
Hmm.
your next good time, where you're going to relax, what you're going to get into. And you hope everybody around you does the same thing. As a
Exactly.
kid, you think a little different, and I'm not going to say every kid, some kids are different. Some kids, grew up a little faster in life when it comes to, what their opinions are. Not that I agree with that. I don't want to look at an 18-year-old and think because he or she grew up in a rougher world that now that they think they're 40, they still have a lot to learn.
Right.
So yeah, man, I didn't know what love was until I met my wife. I thought I did, man. I thought, in high school or whatever, I think, oh man, I love you. You're my Valentine. And then you realize it's like, whoa, bro, you got to be best friends with your wife. Your wife's got to get down just like you do, but yet be proper and keep you in line. You know what I mean? She's
100%.
got to, yeah. I mean, in sense, if my wife didn't feed me right, I mean, man, bro, I would be dirty. I made dinner tonight. You know what I got? Burger King chicken parm, dog.
Hey man, I have
I made dinner.
I, I have Wendy's.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I was out freaking late because of
yeah, man. I try not to eat fast food at 40. I gave up fast food about 5 years ago, but if I can sneak it in, I sneak it in. But now that I'm 40, it's almost like sneaking in because, the wife, she was going to
yeah,
bake the chicken, or she's going to do this, or, you got to make sure that, you're not eating this. I'm
right.
from the hood. I originated in a different part of life. So I'm like, let me get this or this. And she's like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like we said before, like what's canned potatoes? You know what I mean? Uh, but anyway, you know what? I think people should keep listening. They should give us their opinions. It's my first time being on social media. I kept myself off it because even someone as established as myself, it's always, you want to keep yourself kind of back because you don't want the wrong person to get the wrong opinion. But I'm here to tell you that if you know Reds, you know one thing about me, man. I love, but I hate just as fast. So you're going to hear that in the broadcast. You're going to understand that not only that I'm a Christian, but I do agree, and I do have another side of me that some would say is a blessing, and some would say is not. Biggs, on the other hand, he's got his Christian way. He's got a little bit of not going to take the shit because he's learned his own way how not to take the shit.
Mm,
But but I don't want anybody during any of these broadcasts to ever be offended or nor judge, me or Biggs or
right,
in any of our situation.
right.
Um, I mean, Biggs. So we're talking a little bit about ourselves. What's your most favorite food that you like right now? Is it the same food that was your favorite when you were 18? Was it the same food now that you're 40? I mean, where are you at with your most favorite food?
I would have to say yes, it's probably still my favorite food to this day. Um, when I was a kid, and I'm gonna have to say pizza. Like, I fucking love pizza like you wouldn't believe, dude. I could literally eat the shit every day for the rest of my life, and I'd
Yeah,
be
I remember.
perfectly fine with it.
Fucking right, bro. I remember when I was living downtown, and my wife and I, when she first met you. This is the second time she met you, and we went and got a pizza, and I'm like, "What should we get?" And you're like, "I don't know. I'm getting a large and a gallon." And I'm like, "A large and my wife's like, "Is he getting a large and a gallon to the head?" I'm like, "What you mean? He's eating that large pizza, and that gallon of iced tea's his." You know? And she's like, "Well, should I even get a slice? And when he give me a slice, I'm like, hell no, Biggs ain't gonna give you a slice." And she's like, "Fine, no problem." And then next thing you know, it's like I met you the next day for breakfast, and you come over, and my wife finishes, and you're like, "Are you finished?" And she's like, "Yeah." And you're like, "He's okay if I clean up that plate." And she's like, "Oh yeah, no problem." And then right away she got introduced to Biggs. You know what I mean? And it's not like you're fat, dude. You are a big man. You are a tall, big man.
I'm
If you look
huge.
at the app, right? If you look at the appetites of the big defensive ends from Philadelphia Eagles, any of them guys, they're eating, they're putting their food in. You're a big, tall dude. You know what I mean? So you would always get your triple, and I'd always get my single junior. You know, uh, but you know what I
with
mean?
with the ranch dressing on the fries.
Ooh, you got to eat that ranch
Gotta
dressing,
eat
man.
that fucking ranch on them fries, bro.
Oh my god!
You got it.
Now that I got older, I gotta let the wife eat the ranch dressing because I can't, man. I'm all this now that I'm 40. I'm like, listen, man. If I want to give someone an experience, I don't, men die fast, so I want to be able to. That's the one thing why I'm doing this podcast with you. Like, listen, man. I want to be seen out there. I want to be heard. Listen, I'm gonna show my face for the first time to the media, and I'm gonna let people see me and get my opinion. I hope it makes their day better, and I hope it makes your day better,
Right.
and I hope it gets you the opportunity out here on these platforms. But in sense, I don't even eat ranch no more, man. I do if I'm really naughty, man. If I
Uh,
smoke me a big bone, I'm like,
bro,
dude,
you're
that's
the one
it.
that actually turned me on to that shit, dude. Like,
Oh man, I eat the shit off of ranch, but now that I'm 40, I cannot eat it. I used to eat mayonnaise with French fries. You know what I mean? Little mayonnaise.
I can't do that,
You ain't have no mayonnaise with French fries?
man.
All right, this is another whole fucking topic because
Uh,
if you don't dip, you know what I mean? Mayonnaise in the. So
I don't
you
dip
grew
that
up.
whole French fries in the frosty either. That's not
Yeah,
how
I
I
know,
get
but
down.
you grew up right in a household where you used when you had dip for chips, right?
Yeah,
You had like you had ranch dip or whatever,
yeah.
right?
French onion,
Yeah. You know what I had?
mayo.
Watered down ketchup.
Down.
You ain't never dipped your chips in watered down ketchup?
I can't say I have to.
Well, you ain't never had no good ass dip. When I was little, you take the chip and you dip it in the ketchup and you do it. When the ketchup gets about 50%, you add 25% water. Shake them. You know what I mean? It's the difference between like Heinz versus fucking generic. Whatever. Now, if I did that, my wife would be like, "You're fucking done." No, actually, not. Not only do I live on a multi-million-dollar property, all this, she's still watering down the laundry detergent. My wife is still adding spigot water to the laundry detergent. You do understand that, right?
I get you. Got to do what you got to
The
do.
other the other day, Reds always wears the same thing, black. I get one of my black hoodies. I'm like, oh damn, man, it smells like feet or something. You know what I mean? So I grab another hoodie. I'm like, damn, this smells like dog shit. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? I'm like, babe, my laundry stinks. So she's like, oh, I've been watering it down. You know what I mean? And what did I say in the beginning of this thing? It's all about marrying the woman that you love and the woman that's your best friend. I mean, come on now. What motherfucking woman do you know that will be like, I got no problem watering down that shit. I'm doing it. I ain't telling him. She's doing it, and she's not like, babe, I need lunch today. She's like, babe, I've been doing that for 2 weeks. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, like
I mean, it's
my
unbelievable. You know what I mean?
my
A
wife,
normal woman.
she keeps things in line. She kept me
Yeah.
in line all these years.
Oh, my wife has absolutely kept me in line. Listen, she's the first person that met Red that said, "Listen, you be you, worry about you, worry about your values, and then the people around you will shine." Everybody that's ever met Red has been like, "Listen, not only you be you, but protect me." She's always told me protect myself, and those around me will naturally be protected. A whole different world, you know what I mean? It's a different world when you find the person that you love for the rest of your fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Simple as that. But you know, you when getting married, it's like the one thing I don't like is the whole theory of till death do us part. Man, that's the dumbest thing in the world. If you think or anybody thinks that in your marriage vows, I love marriage vows. I do. I don't think most people even understand them or care about them. And motherfucker, I don't even remember what I said the day I got married. I'm gonna tell you right. But what I will tell you is the ending of every vow is till death do us part. And that's as dumb as hell. You
Mm-hmm.
understand me? That is as dumb. To say that your friend's family or your wife is not going to meet you in heaven, then what the fuck is heaven,
Right.
right?
That's a good
Are you
point.
telling me
Yeah.
right when you get like the vow saying until death do us part, and people when someone passed like, oh, that's so bad, but in sense, that's completely ridiculous because when you get to heaven, if you believe in a greater person than you, whether or not you're a Christian believer or whether or not you believe in, Muslim or you are, Jewish or whatever you believe in, if you believe in a higher being, you believe that after life, you're going to be taken somewhere and be able to see the glories of life, right? To no more suffering, no more worrying about where you're going to get your food, where you're going to lay your head. Can you afford your bills? Can you live in the society you live in? But people want to say, well, then it's death do us part. Well,
Right.
that's as dumb as hell. You talking about when you get to heaven, you're not going to see your mother, your grandfather, you know what I mean? You better hope I see my grandmother because if I don't, Jesus has got to fight the heel one tape, bro.
Right.
Because if she ain't up here, where the fuck is she in hell?
Yeah.
So it don't make no sense. But anyway, I don't want to get into that because that's a whole different level.
Hey.
Uh, what I want to do is I want to tell you I love you, and I want to say that every time that we get on live broadcast, man, we're going to bring up certain topics, and I want to bring up major topics always, somewhere in our thing. And today I want to put out there domestic violence is in, it's in people, it's in humans, they beat animals, they beat all kinds of things. So if you're being abused in any way, shape, or form, reach out, whether it's down 911 or reaching out to a friend like me, and I'll help you through that process, or a friend like Biggs. You
Right.
know what I mean? Abuse is no good. But I mean, I'm sure throughout our podcast, we'll always give a shout out to something. You know what I mean?
Oh
Uh,
yeah. For
yeah,
sure.
like I mean, I'm serious. Like, so many people talk and they just want the camera, but they're not going to talk about, like my wife's grandfather's disease, kidney polycystiosis. Excuse me, I didn't mention that correctly. Uh, but there's all these different things, brain cancer. There's
Mm-hmm.
all these things that, like, what, no matter what, if you guys are listening, when we mention it, you're gonna hear it for 1 second and maybe make you think about it. So if you're listening right now, we do have somebody in me and Biggs' family that's suffering from brain cancer. So support people any way you can. Pray for the people with brain cancer. Pray for their strength and pray for everybody. You know what I mean? And I don't care if you're praying
Yeah.
to God or you're praying to, whoever. Take a minute and think about it.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. That was definitely well said.
All right, so you said for your favorite food it's pizza. So I'm gonna blow it off mine. Chicken parmesan. You know what I mean? It
Yes.
used to be from a certain restaurant, but now it's Julie. So the wife makes the chicken parm. You know what I mean? It's got to be crispy chicken, not soggy, right?
Oh yeah.
Good mozzarella. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So chicken parm is my number one, and then my number two all favorite is a fucking cheesesteak.
Oh yeah.
If I had to, if I go out to restaurants like you got cheesesteaks, yeah, all right, I'm gonna eat that. If I go out to a nice restaurant, you got chicken parm, all right, I'm gonna eat that. That's pretty much Reds. I'm plain Jane, bro. Those two options I'm getting. My wife, she'll try this or try this or try this. You know, she does her thing, but and you will even do a little bit of trying. But I'm a strict motherfucker. If it's good food, nice restaurant, they hopefully they have chicken. First time I went to a nice restaurant, they're like Italian restaurant.
Mhm.
Asked them if they got hot dogs on the menu. You know what I mean? I'm like, you got hot dogs? And they're like, excuse me? I'm like, you got hot dogs? You know? Like, how the hell do I know what to order? But that's again, we'll talk about a a different time, different life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, listen. I mean, tell me this: you've been on the line for a minute. You know, we're live out here. Do we got some listeners or what?
Um, a couple. It looks like.
Okay, well, shout out to everybody listening. I know my wife's one of them. Hey, baby. So she probably logged off. She's probably like doing something stupid. Oh, look, she gave me a dirty look. Excuse me. You gotta watch her shit. As soon as you talk shit, next thing you know, you got a baseball bat to the face. You know what I mean? I should have never. I should have never taught her that trick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not
Anyway,
messing with her.
yeah, I'm not messing with it either. Listen, I mean, I hope everybody out there, like I said, man, listen to our live broadcast. Biggs is real interested in this live stuff. I've never been on any social media platform. I love Biggs to death. I promote him. I'm for him. I want you guys to be for him. He's an amazing father. You know, I'm a good, great father too, but, you know, promoting Biggs. He's a great guy, and he's tried a lot of times on these social media platforms just to have his voice heard. And you know what? This is one voice you want to hear. Biggs has got plenty of stories that will reach so much of this audience that you guys will be able to relate. I got some good stories too. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are whatever. But in reality, when you put our two stories together, it's like
Yeah,
power.
it is big power. Like, and even some of your stories are far more greater than mine. And like you said,
No, everybody's journey is different, but everybody's journey was meant by God. So you know what I mean. You know, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that because I had done this or done this, my life is no better than yours, bro. We just saw it through different glass. You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we were in the same vase because we're brothers. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
in sense, I don't think there's any different than my most best story compared to your most best story.
Yeah. I mean, we both have some have a story to tell, and we're
Hey,
gonna get it
listen to
out
us.
there.
Follow us on all platforms.
Yeah.
Let us up to all platforms.
All platforms are out there. Like I said, we just wanted to do this quick little, intro, I guess, if you will, since this is our first our first stream as a podcast on here. So we have so much to tell. We have a lot of plans, for the show, and it's
Yeah, and plans to get you guys interacted, man. Not
exactly,
only do right, we just don't want you just to listen to us. We want you to tell your story too, and we'll get it on the air.
exactly. This is
You know?
exactly what we want. A lot of these other podcasts are just out there talking about themselves and talking about certain things. Yeah, we're going to be talking about certain topics, but we want to get you guys involved too. So
Yeah, and you want to listen because I'm a Democrat.
ex-
Are you
and
Republicano?
I am a registered Republican. Yes, I am. So we might even
And
get
I
it
see
in.
that. I see that nice tattoo of the Eagles. Are you going to get Jalen Hurts tattooed on you if he wins
Not a
for next
chance in
year or what?
hell.
Me neither. I'd sell that motherfucker the second you get a chance. If I hear about one more fucking Philadelphia Eagle, now I'm a diehard Philly fan, man. I'm born and raised in the motherfucking in now. I need to calm down because I'm live on video. But I'm going to tell you what, I hear all this, oh, let's trade this guy, let's do this. If I keep hearing about Philadelphia, man, I'm not going to be happy, man. I'm tell you what, that quarterback, Jalen Hurts, if you see this live in any day, shape, or form, I'm going to remain calm. I've been just edited by my team, and I'm being told to calm down. Yep, that's what happens.
You got flagged.
Yep, I got flagged. I mean, people are telling me that is it. My team is telling me to stop where I'm at. But you know what? You know, then I'm going to end it. I'm gonna say this to you, Jalen Hurts. Peace be with you, bro.
Bless
I mean,
your
is that not
heart.
nice?
That
Fuck,
was.
I should get a free Philly cheesesteak for that nice comment.
Oh God, yeah. Send me one too, please.
Oh man, if I get a whiz without right now with them cheese fries, oh my god.
Bro,
Oh, and they know when I come.
bro.
No
I'm
one,
telling
no
you.
one down, no one down at Pat Steaks gets the sandwich. I get that cut in half. You know what I mean? It's got to be a certain way. Anybody else will get next down there. They see the red, they're like, "Oh, look, I'm getting dirty
I'll
looks
tell
again."
you what. I've had some.
Can I get a?
I had some pretty decent cheesesteaks down here, but it ain't like
Oh man.
home, man. No one does a better cheesesteak than Philly.
Yeah, and Philly got good cheesesteaks. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm from Philly diehard. You know, I won't take my son down there, my wife down there. I had to get a bulletproof vest for my fucking son, for my wife. I gotta carry these in the car nowadays because of how people are fucking acting out here. Like literally in my trunk of my car, I have a Kevlar vest that will sit over my wife's chest and one to sit over my son in his baby carriage because that's how it's gotten. I mean, you cut someone off and it's like, God forsaken. I don't live nowhere near Philadelphia. But I'm going to tell you what, man, how those guys are acting down there. I don't give a fuck how their cheesesteaks taste. I don't want them. But I will tell you, I don't give a shit what anybody says, man. Pat Steaks all day right here, right guy.
More of a.
I know. Listen, you go down there and you know when you eat, you love to enjoy the taste, you know. And if you do this too much to Pat's, you'll be like, damn. You know what I mean? You can't do too much tasting. You got to eat it.
It's too
You know,
touristy.
yeah,
Like
it's rough,
it's
man.
for tourists.
Sometimes it's rough. There's nobody that beats them French fries or them cheese fries, man.
But I will say, hey, I won't take it. They do have a pretty good cheesesteak. I'm just saying it's more for tourists, I think.
No, it's definitely not more for tourists. It's the original cheesesteak. More for tourists is like when you walk into like, let's just go across the street, you know, where they got that little show area and this and that. And then you go to other areas. Everybody's about the tourist. Pat Steaks is original, bro. Pat Steaks is a taxi driver that rolled up there and it gave them an idea and they took that idea and they ran with it. Their steak is like no other. The cheese that's there has been specifically made for their organization. You can't even like I went to the store so many times. I buy filet mignon. I cut my shit up real nice. Get me some cheese whiz. I mean, it is shit. You cannot get when you go down there. Next time you're down in town, I know you're a Florida boy now, Floridarian. But next time you're down in town, me and you go down there. I mean, I got a cab load to fit you. I mean, you can't go down there without it no more. No fuck you laughing. You can't go down there without it. I don't give a shit. You know, well, Disney's throwing a 100th anniversary down there in the museum right now, and I can't even take my son and my wife
It's a
down to see this.
shithole.
It's a shithole.
It is.
Mm-mm.
It is a fucking shithole, dude. It is. I was just
It's not
in.
even. It's not even. It's not that it's a shithole. It's that there became, for some reason, it became ruleless. There used to be rules in the hood. You know, I mean, for some reason now, it's like, you know, they just don't care if they want to shoot somebody because something, or it's, you know, it ends up that they shoot out in front of the person's school. Like it's a shame. It's a shame.
It
And you know
is.
where it starts is, you know, no offense, but politicians that care. Um, that's where it starts. They have all that city congress, all these people, city this, city this. They all go into that beautiful building with those, you know, beautiful, you know, redwood tables and marble everywhere and hundreds of security guards. But they go in that building every day, and not one of them. They all say they do. They all walk down their streets surrounded by police. It's a shame. Philly could be
It
saved.
is.
Philly could be saved because the people of Philadelphia, like myself, I don't live in Philly, but I have ton of respect, born and raised out there. I'm going to tell you one thing right now is, well, for part of my life, but I'm going to say this right now about Philadelphia is it can be saved. It's truth that it's a city of brotherly love, that people don't want the crime out there. It's just, becoming a place where bullying has gotten so bad that it's not cool unless you got bodies on your name.
Right.
It's no longer cool to walk down the streets of Chicago or Philly or New York. When it comes to the toughness, they look at you and it's like, oh, it's no longer you beat that guy up at the basketball court or you beat that guy up at the mall. It's, hey, listen, you shot two people. Now leave him alone.
Yeah.
So it's almost gotten to a point where these men and women down there almost have to create this level of violence in order to ensure their own protection, and in order to ensure every block understands for a 5 mile radius. That's that dude or that girl that won't take that shit.
Right.
And where that stops and ends is police, police, you know, and stop bullying everywhere, you know. I mean, down in Philly right now, they just took a school and it had asbestos, and they took that school and put them 5 miles over in Strawberry Mansion District. Now, if you take anybody from, one town to another, there's definitely problems. Even if you took someone from a suburban area like Souderton to North Penn,
Mhm.
it's a different environment, different people. That's 5 miles away. Now, in Philly, that's even worse because they've been understanding that you don't leave your block, you're safe. So now they've taken these children and say, well, we're going to put you in another school because there's asbestos. These kids are so afraid out of their mind. They got every right to be. I mean, are you kidding me? Oh, this is the fix because of asbestos. You guys are crazy. No
Jesus.
one understands the life of family anymore that's a politician. Biden doesn't understand it. Trump didn't understand it. And, you thought maybe Obama did, but it's almost like he didn't understand either. What person anymore understands what it is to try to break down your bills in a month, your food in a month, and still have extras to do, things with your kids and children in safe zones? You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, this shit's
That's a
crazy.
whole different topic.
It
It's a whole
is.
different topic.
Yeah, and we'll get into all that shit too. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about. A lot.
Yeah, and basically with this podcast, not only is it going to be there, Biggs is going to enjoy it, I'm going to enjoy it, but when people do these things to make us have opportunities on financial levels, we're going to make sure that places get fed, that people have opportunities, that boys and girls club passes are bought by us. If your kid wants to be in your single mother, single father part of a sports team, if I make some money on any kind of platform, I'm going to ensure that kid has an opportunity to play. Your daughter's about to go through a beauty pageant. I mean, they're talking about thousands of dollars to ensure she can enjoy her time. I mean, come on now.
Oh yeah, I just when you really
Mm.
realize like how expensive some of this shit is too, like just to get her freaking beauty pageant
Oh, it's
going,
crazy.
it's
My wife and
insane.
I, my wife and I sponsored a soccer team. We're like, oh, no problem. We'll buy you guys pizzas. And the next thing they're like, oh, can you buy us jerseys? Like, oh, we'll buy you jerseys. Oh, can you buy us soccer ball? We'll buy a soccer ball. Oh, and can you buy us trophies at the end of the year? And we're like, oh, we'll buy the trophies. Like, wait, no other team has a sponsor to pay for trophies. Can you pay for every kid? We're
What?
like, yeah, well, yeah. So the wife's like, you know what, we should do it. Every kid deserves a trophy. We paid for all these teams to get the trophy, but then we never sponsored again because how can you do that?
Right.
We thought we'd
That's
buy this kid a team pizza, enjoy it. I mean, they made us a bunch of cards. We did our best and we helped them out and made us feel good. But it's a shame that there's not people out there helping those people.
that's sad.
Yeah. All right, listen to Red and Big's podcast. Get your opinions out there, and I'm going to tell you what, we're going to give you our opinions. Like I said, we came from two different worlds, but you know what? God made us all, or a greater being made us all. So we're all brothers and sisters out there. So let's put our opinions out there together and let's make someone's day better. So by listening to this, I hope your day was better. You enjoyed it. And if you don't listen to it, that's okay. If you ever come across this video, may God bless you or whoever you believe in truly.
Right. And just be true to yourselves and
Be true to yourselves and stop, abuse. Simple as that.
right. And
Yeah.
we will leave it at that, and we'll let you know what our schedule is like, cause I think mostly we do We're gonna be doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot, but we're going to try to make sure it's on time. Listen, Reds and Bigs do have different, different lives. So sometimes, I have a huge farm, a lot of animals. Sometimes things go weird. Biggs has a big family. He's got a lot of responsibility. So there's sometimes we won't be exactly on the day, but we'll be out there and we'll be listening and talk to us so we can talk back to you so we can get your opinion across too.
right.
All right, Biggs, I'm out.
All right. Y'all have a good night. And thanks
May
for
God
watching.
bless you, okay? Yeah, may God bless you. And always remember, if there's domestic violence out there, stop it while it's head down 911. God bless you.